Well, right now, President-elect Trump's choice to run the Pentagon is very much up in jeopardy. Despite pledging that he will not back down, Secretary of Defense nominee Pete Hegseth is facing mounting allegations of excessive drinking, abusive treatment of women, and financial mismanagement. The combat veteran and now former Fox News host is back on Capitol Hill. He's meeting with Republican senators who are increasingly uneasy about his nomination. Hegseth's mother, who herself has been critical of his treatment of women in the past, did go on Fox to vouch for her son. Here's part of what she said.
I don't want to use the words, but he doesn't misuse women. No. I mean, he's been through some difficult things. I'm not going to list them by name, but I would just say that some of those attachments or descriptions are just not true, especially anymore.
Well, Trump himself is weighing possible replacements for Hegseth. Should he pull his nomination or potentially withdraw? Among those who could be tapped, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. So let's get on to NewsNation's Joe Khalil live for us there in Washington, following it all. Joe, what are you hearing there on Capitol Hill?
Well, it's no secret, Nichole, that the nomination of Pete Hegseth to become the Secretary of Defense is now in trouble. That doesn't mean that his chances are zero or that his nomination bid is dead. However, it does mean he's going to have an uphill battle to climb, and he's still going to have to change some minds here, because we've also been able to confirm here at NewsNation that Donald Trump has at least entertained the idea of alternatives. We've heard the names that have been floated. We talked about Governor Ron DeSantis of Florida as a potential alternative. We've also heard some people speculate about Senator Joni Ernst, even Republican from Iowa, herself a combat veteran, and others. But Pete Hegseth at this point says that he is not giving up his fight yet, saying that just this morning. And even as I'm talking to you now, he continues to meet with senators. Right now, he's in the office of Senator John Thune, who's going to be the new majority leader in the new Congress. If you take a look here, he's also got several others on his schedule for today. Senator Bill Hagerty. We mentioned Joni Ernst. He's going to be meeting with her. Kevin Cramer, Senator Wicker earlier this morning. So obviously a busy day here. We actually just got a chance to catch up with Senator Josh Hawley, another Republican who is also speculating and not exactly sure what's going to happen with Pete Hegseth. There are several other nominees, people like Marco Rubio, for example, whom if you ask about him to other senators, they feel very confident he's going to have no trouble. This is what we're hearing from Senator Hawley. And by the way, he's not the only one who feels this way. Take a listen.
I think maybe he canceled his sit down with me. So, I don't know what the status is there. I read in the paper today the president's thinking of nominating somebody else. So I don't know.
Would you support someone else like DeSantis?
Well, let's see who the pick is. I'm unclear at this point on who the pick is going to be.
So let's see, I don't know, is, again, kind of the sentiment that we're hearing from several Republican sources that we've talked to. Again, we mentioned that Pete Hegseth himself is not giving up. He tweeted earlier this morning saying that he is going to continue to battle this out. He happened to say that he spoke with President-elect Trump. This is the tweet and the message that he put out, along with that picture of him alongside fellow soldiers when he was actually serving, saying that he is for the men in uniform, men and women in uniform who actually have served on the front lines there. So we are waiting to see how this all shakes out, if by the end of the day we have any more clarity as to what he is going to do. Again, nonetheless, he says he's moving forward despite all of the allegations against him, all of the reporting over the last few days that you highlighted coming into me, Nichole, and we're going to see whether these meetings bear fruit for him or whether there is an alternative that arises.
And we have seen somebody else take themselves out of the running. Trump's pick to run the DEA, he suddenly withdrew last night. Do we know if there's any more of his cabinet picks potentially in jeopardy?
Yeah, we have heard similar concerns, honestly, from Republican senators and staff and sources about the nomination of Tulsi Gabbard, for example, of RFK Jr. There are certainly some concerns there. Again, that doesn't mean that any of those nominations are in jeopardy, but it seems like those nominees are going to have to convince some people, potentially change some minds. They're not going to get any help from Democrats on those nominees. Some will. Like, again, I talked about Marco Rubio and Elise Stefanik, for example, two of Trump nominees that we expect will likely get some Democratic votes and support. But for the others, that may be a bit of a challenge. So we'll see how all of those play out in the next few days here.
All right, Joe Khalil live for us there in Washington. Thank you. All right. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.